Rocket attacks in Israel, airstrikes in Gaza, violence in Jerusalem's holy sites, protests across the city. You must have been baffled by listening to these headlines and looking at the gory images of the incident. Now just imagine the plight of people in Palestine. It's far worse than what you think. The latest attacks began a month ago with an Israeli move to block some Palestinian gatherings at the beginning of the holy month of Ramadan, and it was already a time of heightened religious sensitivities. Not just that, can you believe it? On Monday, grenades echoed and hundreds of Palestinians were injured. We have seen pictures on social media on police firing tear gas and rubber bullets on Palestinians. Systematic impunity has fostered where Israel knows no bounds. Before getting into much of the nitty gritties of the conflict, let's take a look at why Jerusalem always seems to be on edge and what set off the latest round of violence. Literally, it's a 100-year-old issue. Yes, you heard it right. I mean, to be honest, I've always felt the fate of East Jerusalem has been one of the thorniest issues in the peace process, which ground to a halt more than a decade ago. Let's learn about the issue and its later developments. You must have read about it in your history classes, so we'll keep it short. Basically, the Israeli Palestinian conflict is over who gets what land and how it's controlled. Back then, Jews fleeing persecution in Europe wanted to establish a national homeland in what was then an Arab and Muslim majority territory in the Ottoman and later British Empire. The Arabs resisted, seeing the land as rightfully theirs. Israel and the surrounding Arab nations fought several wars over the territory. Due to these wars, the holy city has also been a literal battleground. During Israel's 1948 War of Independence, Jordan took over eastern Jerusalem and expelled all the Jews living there, making that half of the city entirely Palestinian. Then in 1967, Israel captured eastern Jerusalem and annexed it. As a result, both Palestinians and Israelis believe eastern Jerusalem belongs to them, and the ethno-religious tensions in the city are always at risk of erupting. Most importantly, recent conflicts largely reflect the outcomes of these wars. What makes Jerusalem so holy? So basically, Jerusalem echoes through decades of shared and contested history in the minds of Muslims, Jews, and Christians. To note the fact that Jerusalem has been conquered, ravaged, and restored countless times before. History is replete with such instances. Let's look at the current situation. So, the day of violence in Jerusalem began when the police entered the Aqsa Mosque compound and fired rubber-tipped bullets and grenades at Palestinians. More than 330 Palestinians have been injured, with at least 250 people hospitalized. On Sunday, a 19-year-old Israeli was fatally wounded. Not just that, Israeli troops killed a 16-year-old Palestinian when they opened fire on the protesters. I can't even imagine the horrors of this incident. Several innocent kids are detained. Why should they bear the result of these barbarities? Police blocked buses filled with Arabs headed for Jerusalem from northern Israel, saying they would not be allowed to participate in violent riots. A series of deadly shootings in the West Bank last week has also heightened tensions. There is also an Israeli plan to evict several Palestinian families from their homes in the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood in East Jerusalem to allow Jewish settlers to move in. Also, remembering a very old saying that every coin has two sides in this situation, it's not only Israel causing violence. To note the fact that Palestinian militant group Hamas, which rules Gaza, has called for a new uprising. Gaza militants have fired rockets and balloons with incendiary devices attached to them in support of the protesters. Both sides seem like they are preparing for the fight to last for days. Jerusalem has been the scene of violent confrontations between Jews and Arabs for 100 years and remains one of the most bitterly contested cities on earth. Wait, I've seen hashtag India stands with Palestine and hashtag India stands with Israel on Twitter. What's that about? Amidst all of these, Indian Twitter users have become more vocal in their support for Israel and Palestinian. Both hashtag India stands with Israel and hashtag India stands with Palestine have been trending on Twitter as many politicians, journalists, business leaders, as well as ordinary netizens have been tweeting about it. On Twitter, there is a counterpoint to any perspective that is being propagated. As some people tweeted their support for Palestine, others choose to respond with messages of support for Israel. We feel obligated to point out that neither side has felt it necessary to express their perspectives on the current situation to justify why India chooses to support Palestine or Israel. I hope in this video I've managed to explain the conflict regardless of your view on who is right in the conflict. I hope after watching this video you've gotten at least an honest, clear guide of the actual situation.